Okay, wait. Was it recording? I don't know.
Do you ask and then I answer?
Yeah, I'll ask and you answer.
Oh, I feel all nervous.
Your face. And then no one will know it's you.
No.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Move further into the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready?
We're ready. Always ready.
The word I would use to describe your school year is
energising,
talented,
fabulous,
kooky. Both in your activities and in your nature. Oh, absolutely lovely. I know that's 2 words, but you are.
my first, good-natured and fun,
That's got to be dramatic.
funny,
Hard-working.
Harmonious.
Talkative.
Amazing.
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 Well, I think you're both demented and amazing, so I will say demazing.
Really friendly,
we're really supportive of each other.
really nice year.
The only word I can really use is epic.
Dedicated.
Very mature.
Enthusiastic.
Boisterous.
In terms of my engineering group, small.
Easygoing. That's hyphenated, so I'm allowed to say that.
Feisty.
Fun and lovely, kind, thoughtful. I know that's not one word, but it's too hard to pick one.
Steady.
A bit Arabic.
Dedicated.
Good.
Wonderful. Dangerous lunacy.
The word was not a positive word, I just thought.
So I'm going to choose 2 words just to be a little bit different. My first word is sophisticated. I think from my perspective looking out into your year group, there's some very sophisticated students in your year group who really know who they are as individuals, who have a really strong sense of sort of well-being and who they are and want to be. And they kind of convey, I think, to the rest of the school kind of an air of sophistication. And I have no doubt that many of you are going to go on to really, really, really successful lives beyond the school community. And then the other word that I'm going to use is individual, because I think there's some real characters in your year group that stand out from the crowd, that have very strong personas and personalities. Kind of goes with that first word in a way, really, but individual in terms of they're not afraid to be who they are and kind of have their own personalities and are really, really confident about being themselves.
Hi, Year 11.
13.
So plan, as my classes will say, plan what you're going to say and make sure you plan for an essay. So I've planned what I'm going to say. Standout memories.
Cody, how many takes do you do?
See, that's the one I can't do. I can't think of anything hilarious.
Funny memories probably come from trips.
And obviously the Eden Camp trip, the trip that has never been run again. Sick on the bus, having to go into Tesco's to buy new clothes, stuck in traffic, raining all day, asthma attack. I've never run a trip ever since after that. And then another memory I've got of this year is when we were in China and I was haggling for handbags in a backstreet shop with Mrs. Walter. And also then buying me a lovely necklace.
The Dewey Exchange, when Katie Maloney played the bells, the carillon of bells from a belfry for the whole town to hear. That was quite funny.
We took the year 13s in year 12 to Venice. So we saw lots of budding friendships along the way. Ate lots of ice cream.
We did, and we saw some amazing work. But
we saw some art.
But we gave our students quite a lot of freedom, and they responded so well because they were so responsible.
Yeah.
But I think they all absolutely had a ball. So.
Yeah. And we enjoyed being with them. They were great.
One that stands out, especially as Lily stood in front of me, is when I took the year 11 to Berlin. And I know what goes on tour stays on tour, but I do remember we'd managed to survive all keeping Lily in one piece, making sure that nothing was served her that might upset her. And the very last day we were sat relaxing thinking what a great job we'd done until suddenly we turned around and she'd been served a pile of food with a big dollop of mayonnaise on top. So I was like panic stations, but anyway, managed to scrape the mayonnaise off the top and she's still here to tell the tale.
I remember taking them to China
And we had a number of very funny incidents in China, quite a lot of tears. We had a very funny incident at Beijing Central Station when people were a little bit stressed, a little bit unnerved by the sheer size of Beijing Central Station, and then Mr. Sheldon decided to tell the story about how he got mugged when he was waiting in a station, you know, at knife point. And I did have to point out to Mr. Sheldon that probably wasn't the best story to tell these girls who were slightly anxious. But no, we had lots of laughs in China, and more recently we've been to Iceland and we had lots of fun in Iceland.
One of the things that I always try to do, and I still try to do it even in my role looking after a group of schools, is go on educational visits and make sure that I go on at least one educational visit a year with every year group, or have some sort of connectivity with every year group. The one sort of standout educational visit is our trip to Berlin. You were in year 11, and for me, what I really enjoyed about that trip was the camaraderie amongst the staff. So it was Mrs. Bean and Mrs. Doyle, and they were two teachers that I had known before I became head here, because we all worked in another secondary school together previously. So we had really good camaraderie, really down to earth, really grounded. And then we took the most amazing group of students to Berlin. So you, again, were students that were, I felt, very humble, very grounded, very considerate about what we were going to go and do and see. You were very intelligent as a group in terms of the dialogue that we were able to have and discussions. And then obviously every time we had a meal time, we had just great humour and banter. And some interesting experiences in terms of the things that we came across to eat and the venues that we went to. And for me, I suppose, on that trip, the one thing that I was quite jealous of as the head teacher was the absolute athletic ability of those two other teachers. When we're there in the Olympic Stadium and somebody has the wise idea that we were going to do the plank in the middle of the Olympic Stadium in Berlin, and then everyone went off and did the plank, and I'm standing there thinking, the plank, this is really going to show me up. I don't even think I attempted it, because I think I was probably knew I was going to embarrass myself so much. But we've got some wonderful photographs of that time in that stadium. And then obviously when we went to various Holocaust memorial sites, whether they're museums or the sculptures or the concentration camps, you were just stunning. You were just stunning as a group. You really got it. You really understood it. You were really sympathetic to what had happened, and there was a lot of really good discussion about it. And we tried to make some good meaning of it all for ourselves.
I'm just trying to have a meeting. Sorry.
Should we go and film somewhere else?
Maybe.
Okay. Have we got some on in there?
No.
And in terms of us picking one of our favourite memories of you, it was the fact that one day I said you would dance for me, and Dr. Dance got you all dancing, and we loved it. So first psychology trip was with all of you, and it was a great day and will be a great memory for both of us.
Oh, well, my best memory is the first time I was going on maternity leave, and my year 10 class threw me a party, and Lisa Robinson made me a lovely cake.
I remember teaching 11x2 when they were in year 10. Doing the register for the first time, and I got Siobhan Acres' name, and I said, "Is it pronounced Siobhan or Siobhan?" And she said, "I don't know."
I really remember you all leaving at the end of your year 11, ready for your GCSEs, and I can't believe how fast your A-level years have gone, and now you're ready to leave, this time for the big wide world.
You just knocked it off.
Having sat through lots of your Year 8 opera performances, I can definitely say that dramatic sums up your year group, whether that's The Little Mermaid, the opera, Romeo and Juliet, the opera, with lots of dramatic scenery and scores and so on. Definitely dramatic.
I remember very clearly your first day, because it was my first day as well at Skipton Girls High School, and I remember speaking to a student who shall remain nameless, who I thought was a member of staff, as if they were a member of staff because I was new. So that was probably quite a funny memory for the person in the audience that's thinking, yes, that was me. So yeah, remember starting with you and have very fond memories of that first day.
Strong memories from GCSE of all the quizzes on Hitler and all the knowledge that came through there.
My lasting memory of your year group is probably the time when you were in year 7 and I had one class, I think it was 7B, for music, and I taught them for RS. I taught both of these classes period 1 on different days, and both of these classes in M20. And one morning I arrived, got everyone sat in a circle, and we started doing our music lesson. And at 5 to 10, 7B told me that this was an RS lesson. And they've never let me live it down in the remaining 7 years.
No, I do like, what was the question?
My delight stroke surprise at realising that Zara wanted to come and do RS with us for A-level.
Did you do anything in...
You were my special group in H4, mentioning no names, but you know who you are.
Well, I do remember that Lily and Lois from my form, who had been best of friends, fell out and they sat at opposite ends of the room for about 3 months, and then suddenly they were buddies again.
I'd say the stuff that comes out one of the tables with Libby and that on. I'd say the one that stands out in mind is the pseudocrem incident. Completely unable to pronounce pseudocrem. I can't remember what it was. I'm sure somebody else in that class can remember.
Was that pseudocreme?
I can't think she said online it was pseudocrem. Pseudocrem or something. Pseudocrem. We had to Google it and everything.
It's my work with some of the girls on the Fair Trade team who knew that Abby Lampkin would be such a fantastic dancer in a banana suit on the Skipton High Street doing the Fair Trade flash mob.
No, I can't think of any now.
Ooh, memories from your year group. I've known you for 3 years. I came when you were in year 11. You were all very set in your ways by then, and you were quite hard to dissuade and change, and I know my year 11 Spanish group weren't really open to change and weren't impressed with the seating plan when I first arrived on the scene. However, they did forgive me, and we did become friends eventually.
I remember coming in as a trainee teacher, really scared when you were all in year 7 and you were all taller than me, and I felt quite intimidated, but now I absolutely love every single one of you. You've all been absolutely amazing and made my experience fantastic here.
Being bullied by my year 9 class when I gave back the assessments and they said that I'd marked them wrongly. I think that paved the way for establishing the who's the boss in the classroom.
Amy always eats food. Charlotte just does her own thing.
Harris.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's loads of Charlottes, isn't there? Too many Charlottes.
For my politics class, some of my enduring memories are nearly making me go into early labour through the lack of knowledge for the exam last year. I didn't. Tilly always putting her makeup on, but actually has turned out to be a very, very dedicated learner this year. Zainab was always late, and Philippa's love for David Cameron is one of the...
One of my favourite times was teaching 11Y1 how to derive the quadratic formula all by themselves, taking up the whole of the board, and then at the end of the whole thing telling them you didn't need to do that. I would have more favourite moments about further maths, but I wasn't often there.
My happiest memory with you guys was definitely the year 7 trip to Paris. What a wonderful time we had, and the best moment of that trip was actually walking into Emily Boothman and Alyssa Costello's room, and they were attempting to, I'm not sure what they were trying to do, but they had a metal rod and they were poking it in the plug socket because they couldn't work out why their adapter wasn't working. So I stopped their imminent death. So you're welcome, girls.
When you were in year 10 and 11 and the class that gave birth to the MDC, there you all are, I've still got it.
I'm zooming.
And I remember in year 11 looking at the timetable and thinking, oh no, I've got them before and after lunch on a Friday, and thinking, how's that going to work out? But actually, girls, it was probably one of the best times of my life.
One of my proudest moments, am I still speaking to camera?
Yes.
Is the girls that did the assembly on Islam. And it's one of those things that it was said with such passion and such power. What are you laughing at? One of the proudest moments have to be the girls that did the Islam gathering. You know who you are. It was said with such pride and such passion and such power that it really was a defining moment. And I'm, again, proud of all you all.
Tutor group, and I have to say that they are all very responsible. But I do like overhearing on a Monday morning what they've been up to at the weekend. They don't think I'm listening, but it is quite interesting.
And do you have any advice for the future?
Just go out and reach for the stars, literally. Do not believe that you can't achieve, because you can.
Thank you.
I really remember you all leaving at the end of your year 11, ready for your GCSEs, and I can't believe how fast your A-level years have gone, and now you're ready to leave, this time for the big wide world.
And do you have any particular memories?
No, that's the one I wasn't sure.
Okay. Anything about your class?
No, again, I wasn't sure. You cancelled really.
So, having not taught any year 11, I remember Caitlin Sampy's dad coming up to me, maybe thinking I was Mr. Khan, and asking whether Caitlin should do maths. I said yes. I didn't know who Caitlin was. I said, yeah, why not? I'm sure she's really capable, and now she's in my class, and now she's going to probably do really well because she's hardworking.
I mean, there's Maddie with her far-out fashionista ways, and Grace, who is the adult in the room, and, you know, Emma, who's just brilliant and gets on with it, and Kizzy and Jodie, who are just fab pair, and Heidi. I forget Heidi.
Awesome.
Hi. Awesome.
Made so much progress, Heidi.
And have we forgotten anybody?
I don't know.
Georgie.
Danielle!
Danielle! Okay, so Danielle, who's like the PhD of the art world, and then Georgie, who's our filmmaker extraordinaire. Literally every single person, with the boys included, down at Olmsted. Really, really good team.
Well, one thing that I have thought of is that with the passing of you guys, it means that I have been here for 7 years, because you were the first year where I had a form group when I started at Skipton Girls High School, so that will be quite sad.
Do you have a class that we can ask you about?
No.
No.
From your year group as a whole, I have to say, in comparison with the rest of the school, you're actually very sane and normal. So when you go, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm getting funny looks from behind the camera here, and that clearly what goes on in West Bank isn't what we see. So
one that stands out, it might be a little bit inappropriate, but I'm going to say it anyway, is Millie Richardson. When we were planning a practical to go and measure some leaf sizes of some shrubs, she decided she would stand up at the class and ask everyone what size their bushes were that they were going to measure. So that was quite a laugh at the time.
Memories of being quite a lot of fun. You certainly wanted to have a good laugh when you were learning. But you're hard workers as well. Never afraid to get stuck in and do your best.
There used to be quite a big little posse who used to come down to Chalier every break time without fail, but they'd never sit on a chair, always on the floor or always on a desk. For some reason they didn't like chairs, but the good thing was they would always tidy my room. So I think since they've stopped coming, that's why it's chaotic again. So if you want to just pop back, ladies, and sort the shelves out before you go, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you.
Hello, Year 13. I've been racking my brains about what I could say about you. The main thing I could say is your love of Andrew Marr, despite his unfortunate swimsuit episode. Your arguments with Paul Philippa Blakely over her conservative and love of Stanley Baldwin, and Talia Mears' deep, deep affection for Ramsay MacDonald.
Do you have anything to say to your class in particular?
I'll be back in 5 minutes, I promise. It will only be 5.
About our class, yeah, I want to thank them for teaching me that I have been spelling a word wrong for my entire life. They all know what that word is, so we'll leave it at that. But yeah, every day we're learning something, and this class definitely have taught me something. I've been spelling a word wrong forever.
So I want to start with my dual linguist in GCSE because you were the absolute best. I'm really impressed with you guys because you didn't cry that much, knowing we did 2 GCSE in the time of 1. So that was really, really brave of you. And I remember each lesson being so much fun, and we did so much work as well. And I'm really proud of the results that you got. So that was a really good memory. And especially Kirsty Goodchild, a special shout out because she took my words creativity and writing a little bit too far, and I remember in her speaking I said to them, obviously in Spanish, you can just lie as much as you want, don't tell the truth, just be creative with the language. So we ended up having Kirsty saying she was really busy because she had a new boyfriend every week, which was taking a lot of her time, and also she managed to overcome a drug addiction. So I was a bit worried that AQ was going to ring me, a bit worried about Kirsty Goodchild, and that I should be looking into her. So that was a really, really good memory for me. And then obviously my current year 13, my friend group, all 6 of you guys. It's been really epic because you're the first year group that I taught since year 7 for some of you when I was a trainee teacher. So it feels really odd seeing you go. You're the first year group that I see go basically. And especially Alice Crosdale, who baked me a cake when I was in when she was in year 7, and I was a trainee teacher because she didn't want me to go. So that was really moving, and that definitely made me think it's the school I want to work at if students are like that. So I'll always have a special place for you in my heart. For year 13, I think if anybody would walk past our classroom, they would be terrified because the conversation that we had about crime and prison and all of the weird topics that we do in year 13, they would have think we were insane. So I remember you make me laugh every single lesson. It's always been a pleasure coming to teach you because we had really interesting debates, and that is fantastic. And also I think it's a year group that make up the most words with a French accent. So just say an English word with a French accent, and that's a French word for them now. So like, not gonna happen really. And Katie Maloney, a word for you? No, she'll understand.
So I've only taught your year group as a supervisor for EPQ when you were last year in year 12, and I particularly remember Maya Bow being absolutely spot on with her work and always meeting deadlines. I also remember Trinity Crowther with her wonderful project on Victorian women's literature and how passionate she was about that and how interesting it was. And I also remember in general that class just being absolutely lovely, and there were some fantastic EPQs from that group.
In particular, my lovely politics and RS students, those that do both subjects in particular. So I want to say well done, congratulations, and I hope all your exams go well, and I wish you all the best for the future. My RS class are lovely, my politics class are good fun. We've enjoyed doing the American and the British politics together.
I'd say they're a good class. They're my first year 13 class I've ever had, so that will carry on through me. So there's people got a lot to live up to over the next couple of years. I just say it's been a pleasure teaching them for their final year maths.
My class is one student who is Kizzy, who is wonderful. It's such a pleasure to teach.
My class, well, they're a lovely class. Thank you though for, well, maybe not thank you for oversharing at times regarding, let's see, I don't know, topics like UTIs, body hair, you know, I know too much about a lot of you ladies.
My year 13, well, thank you very much for all the fun, for the group hugs, for the stripy t-shirt on a Friday, wearing that, and the arguments about various things, whether it's terrorism and all the banter. So thank you very much for that.
Because I had 2 absolutely amazing geeky classes. One was a language A-level class with a couple of boys in there for the mix as well, and every lesson really became kind of a heated debate. In English literature, it seemed that every time a member of staff walked in the room, we were discussing something wholly inappropriate, usually a kind of sexual image from the piece of literature we were discussing.
I don't even know where to start with my year 13 class. They are absolutely wonderful. Every single person in that class. We have laughs every single lesson. You all sit there with your glazed look in your eyes, acting like you don't care about the relationships between China and the USA, but I do know you care, really. Lily and her ridiculous comments that she has every lesson, not knowing where anywhere is in the world, but that's okay. About to get her A-level in geography, but I don't mind. I'd say Hannah mocking me every lesson about driving a Corsa to work stands out massively, but every single one of them has, again, made my time here wonderful, and I am really going to miss you all.
I really love my class a lot. They are incredibly chilled out, they're incredibly friendly, and they're all going to do amazingly well.
My Year 13 class, you are delightful. You really are. I will miss you very much, and after our little recent video that we shared, all I can say is, sois la leche.
I'll miss the hard work, the dedication, the joie de vivre, the way that they are resilient in the face of real problems, and the way that they look forward to the future. I mean, I can say the opposite if you want. They're a bit needy, they always need spoon feeding. I think they're really going to struggle when they
Well, you see, I haven't taught them for a long time, but I do remember we used to have some interesting debates when they were doing ethics in Year 10, but they were just very easygoing, lovely, vibrant.
My geography class, they are hardworking, they're questioning, interested, and hopefully enthused by geography.
Just a nice class, generally a nice class. I'm very glad that I teach them period 4 on a Friday, not other. Just nice, hard-working, but can have a laugh.
Well, my Year 13 class are, again, absolutely lovely, and I will very much miss our Fridays where we just eat lots of nice things.
I think ever since Year 11, I didn't teach any Year 11s, but ever since Year 11 I remember doing some revision sessions, and everyone was just on it, everyone was hard work, and everyone just got onto it and stepped up the game. And now in A-level, everyone's doing the same thing, and I'm sure everyone's going to do really well. So everyone just gets on with it, it's absolutely fantastic. I don't have to do too much, but everyone really gets on with it and gets their head down, and I can't ask much more. It's been great.
Advice for the future would be work hard, party hard?
No. Just do what you think is fun and interesting, and you'll have a great life.
Whatever you do, end up doing, try and find some way of using that to help other people.
I just think you need to go forth and shine like the bright stars that you are.
I think it's really important that you believe in yourselves, and that if you're in doubt, you do things.
Okay, just stay harmonious and stay awesome and eat lots of cake and be happy.
Find and do something you enjoy and stick with it. Good luck, ladies. Just do whatever you enjoy, and just good luck with everything, and I'm sure you're all going to go on to do absolutely amazingly in anything you do.
Just go out and reach for the stars, literally. Do not believe that you can't achieve, because you can.
Do whatever you want to do and whatever you can, and don't let anybody or anything stop you if at all possible, because you're only here once. Just go and do it.
Advice for the future is nothing is easy, but it is worth it.
Just be yourselves. Just be yourselves, girls.
Just find something that you love studying. If you're going to university, do what you feel you can really work hard but enjoy. I hope that you will just go for it and don't try and do what you think you ought to be doing.
I'm going to say, don't expect to be given the answers. You have to work hard to find them. This is especially when you're at university. And the other very important thing is, don't sweat the small stuff.
That's so true. Yeah, and take risks. I mean, safe risks, obviously. But
what's a safe risk?
Well, as in do
Don't take drugs, kids.
Yeah, do the things you actually really want to do. Because there's things when I look back in my early 20s, I thought I can't do that, and now as I'm nearing my 40s, hard to believe but true.
Really?
You've never done
I kind of wish I'd done it. You know, I kind of wish, instead of doing the safe thing, the right thing that I thought at the time that would please everyone around me, do you know what? I think I should have just done it. I thought, you know, if you love me, if you've got my back, you'll support me, so just go for it.
Like, just keep striving for your dreams. Just keep going until you get there. And don't settle for second best.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. That's really good.
Basically, just do as well as you possibly can, work hard, enjoy yourself, and make the most of every single opportunity that is given to you, whether it's at university, it's outside university, and enjoy the summer.
We would say, what did we say? Don't take life too seriously. You know, have a laugh, enjoy it. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Failure is a part of learning. It's the best part of learning. It's about how you react after you've failed and what you do.
My general advice is to have a 5-year plan. Generally, get a goal in mind for the next couple of years and think of the steps you'd need to go towards that. God.
Life isn't always as it plans. I originally didn't want to become a teacher. I want to do a bit of accounting and finance, but now I'm here and I love it. So life isn't always as you plan, but that's it.
Obviously my advice is
BMDC.
And if you don't know what that means, you need to ask someone, because it stood them in good stead, so they've told me anyway.
Be like us. Be amazing.
I have the message that always be yourself, work hard, and don't let anyone bring you down. And it's been an absolute pleasure year 13 teaching you.
I look at you now and cannot believe you came in at year 7 tiny and shy and quiet, and now you're big and bold and boisterous, and you're on your way out.
I just wish you the best of luck with absolutely everything. Like I've said, it's been absolutely wonderful to see you all grow over the years. So when I came in as a tiny teacher, although I think I am still a tiny teacher right now, I haven't grown. Well, it's been lovely from seeing you in year 7 right up to year 13 and leaving. You've really flourished into fantastic young ladies, and I just want you all to stick with your geography, enjoy it still, and wish you the very best for the future.
I'll miss everything about you, but I'll especially miss how chilled out you all seem to be and how relaxed you all seem to be.
I feel sad because I'm going to miss you. I love coming to work because I love teaching you all, and you've all been on big journeys over the last couple of years, and it's been absolutely brilliant to see how much you grow, and I'm really proud of every single one of you.
So my fondest memory with you guys is just the fact that I think you are a fantastic year group, because you managed to always get the work done, and I feel like you were always really curious and asking questions, and you made really lessons enjoyable, but at the same time you're all absolutely hilarious, barking mad, that's for sure, and I'm going to genuinely miss you.
Yeah, but it just feels like some of you maybe have been here forever, because I seem to have taught you forever.
Well, I'd like to wish you all the best. Keep working and striving really hard, and I wish you all the best for everyone's future.
I'll miss you all. In fact, I have missed you all since I've not been here, and good luck in your exams, you'll be fantastic.
Well, certainly in terms of the year 7 duties that I had, I will certainly miss their constant chatter.
Good luck, everybody! Thank you.
All the best. I am sure you'll do very well, and I hope that you come back in a few years saying how amazing your time here was and how it helped you progress in your life. All the best.
On being serious now, I think you lot are one of the best years in terms of being prepared for the future. You've always taken it seriously, but with a pinch of salt, and looked after each other and made sure that that you're on top of it all, and I think in that way you're all well equipped for the future. And I think, you know, I'll just look out for you in all the high positions or whatever, because I'm sure that's where you'll be.
I've got a lot of affection for this year group because it's the last year that'll be at Skipton that was here when I taught here previously. So my kind of first memories are doing the kind of engineering primary days, or the transition day, we're doing engineering activities. So that's the kind of thing I remember most.
You've been a brilliant year group, and I wish you the very best in the future.
Hiya guys, good luck next year. I hope you all have a fantastic time wherever you're going to, and I'm sure you'll all do amazingly in your exams.
Good
luck, everyone.
Right, hi all. We're going to really miss you. You have been absolutely, utterly fantastic. Enjoy university, you will do. Come back and tell us what you've done. You will be missed. Well done.
Oh!
Oh!
I feel so sorry to be saying goodbye to Year 13 because I don't really feel I've had a chance to say hello yet. I took over both my literature and my language groups from Mrs Fox at the end of their Year 12, and so really I feel there's an awful lot still for us to talk about, but that would always be true in English. However, we have had such amazing discussions on such a high intellectual level. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I know that when you go to university you are going to continue with that love of learning, discussing your subjects and getting the most out of every day. Good luck to everybody.
Well, you're a lovely year. You're one of the best we've ever had. Full of lots of characters, and we'll miss you. Especially all your smiles and your assertiveness, certain ones of you.
Definitely.
And we wish you all the very best for your future.
Yeah, good luck for the future in whatever you do.
And come and tell us what
the
you're
very
up
best.
to.
I'm sure you won't need it.
Good luck, girls. Don't forget to come back and visit. Woo!
Dear Year 13, I would like to wish you all every success. You will be fantastic. Obviously teaching the kids of this year has been a privilege, as it always is to teach students. So may the best days of your past be the worst days of your future. Never regret anything, just learn from it. Have fun.
Good luck and goodbye, Year 13.
Lots of luck, lots of fun. Work hard, enjoy your success. Take a risk, take a safe risk, okay, but take the opportunities as they arrive and appear. I wish you all the very, very, very best for the future.
I will miss your energy, your enthusiasm, your smiley faces, your commitment to everything that you do, and just having you round makes school a better place. I'd just like to wish you all, whatever you're doing, whether you're going to university or a gap year or into employment, that you're always true to yourself and you do what's best for you. Thank you.
It's this time of year again, and we have to say goodbye to a lot of you who have become what I'd like to think of as friends over the last year. So my message to you is the same one that Ralph Waldo Emerson said: live well, learn plenty, laugh often, love much. The world is out there, aim high, go get it.
You all make my job fabulous, and amongst the tears, tantrums and meltdowns, we've had some lovely times, gossip, laughs, and yeah, fabulous.
My big piece of advice for you is, you've been in education now for many years, you've been in secondary education for 7 years, and you're about to leave it and go into a different set of opportunities, whether that is university, a job, or apprenticeships, or whatever you're all going to go off and do. But the one thing that I really want you to do is just embrace that change and embrace what that's going to bring to you. This year for me has been probably the most unusual year in my whole 25 years of being a teacher, because I've gone from being the head teacher of this phenomenal school with all its successes and challenges and idiosyncrasies, to now being responsible for 4 schools and more schools joining us, and that for me, just having to embrace that change, having to let go a little bit, having to let other leaders do that job of running this school, has been at some points really quite challenging. And so I know what it feels like when you're leaving one thing and moving into another, moving one thing that you care about, moving into something new that you don't really know much about. And you've just got to embrace that change and go for it, girls. Just go for it, because nothing in this world should limit what you can do next. Nothing. And I hope that you take a bit of that kind of real confidence from the last 7 years that we've instilled in you, and just go out there and make it whatever you need to make it. And enjoy and have fun and have lots of laughter.
Never needed a drink at lunchtime so much.
Did
Crouch down here.
You could appear.
No,
Okay.
crouch down and then you can pop up.
Yeah,
I can
so-
still see the very top of your head. Get down a
Go
bit
down.
more.
Favourite student ever? Tilly Maleke.
Shut up, you. Shut up, Mrs. Firth.
You're just hiding in the corner.
Yeah, come on, you have to go and stand and sit with them as well.
You know, I've
You've
spoken-
never met any of us, have you?
No, I've never met any, and I haven't spoken to my agent.
Let's move on.
Whoa. I don't think there is one word. There's so many different good people.
Oh dear.
Right. Zoom in. Oh, this is what it takes. Just so happens we've got a brilliant farm shop up the road, who we're hoping quite soon to be able to have our own honey bees on site and produce and sell to the wonderful Keelan farm shop. Ginger Ninja, green juice. One of these every couple of days. World's your oyster.
It's not meant to be an Oscar-winning piece, you know.
Shut up.
Should we go get coffee? Yeah, sounds good.